Blood oxygenation refers to the process where blood picks up oxygen in the lungs and delivers it to the body's tissues and organs. The cardiovascular system, consisting of both the heart and blood vessels, is the primary system associated with this process along with the respiratory system. The key structures involved in this process include the lungs, veins, and heart. The lungs hold the most paramount value in the oxygenation of blood, as this is where gas exchange occurs. Here, oxygen diffuses from the alveoli, where concentration of oxygen is higher, into the capillaries, where the concentration of oxygen is lower. Simultaneously, carbon dioxide diffuses from the capillaries into the alveoli, which then becomes expelled through expiration. There are multiple veins in the body that play pivotal roles in blood oxygenation, primarily in association of transferring both oxygenated and deoxygenated blood to and from the heart and lungs. Both the inferior and superior vena cava carry both deoxygenated blood and carbon dioxide back to the heart, which then becomes pumped back to the lungs for oxygenation. The pulmonary vein also plays an essential role in transferring oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart to then be distributed to the tissues for use around the body. The heart is similarly an important structure in this process, having two primary functions. To understand the heart's role in this process, it is important to be familiar with the conducting system. The conducting system has three primary steps. The first step starts with an action potential in the SA node. Then the signal generated by pacemakers in the SA node travels by the internodal pathways to the AV node. The signal pauses here, allowing the atria to contract. Finally, the signal then continues through the AV bundle and bundle branches to contract ventricles. Its first function is to receive deoxygenated blood from the vena cava and transfer this from the right atrium through the triscupic valve into the right ventricle and through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery, where the deoxygenated blood arrives at the lungs for oxygenation. The heart's second function is to distribute oxygenated blood around the body, occurring when oxygenated blood transfers from the left atrium to the left ventricle through the aortic valve into the aorta, which then distributes it to various organs and tissues for bodily use. Hemoglobin is the dominant molecule in relation to blood oxygenation. Hemoglobin is the protein found in red blood cells. This protein is composed of 4 subunits, each containing a heme group with an iron atom. This iron atom combined to one oxygen molecule, allowing each hemoglobin molecule to carry up to 4 oxygen molecules. Therefore, when oxygen levels are low in different areas of the body, hemoglobin releases the oxygen for use of tissues and muscles in the body to facilitate their functions. Blood oxygenation primarily occurs in 2 locations, the heart and the lungs. The first step of blood oxygenation involves the inhalation of air, which contains oxygen, travelling down the trachea and into the lungs. Air travels to the bronchioles and reaches the alveoli. Within the alveoli, diffusion occurs. Here, the oxygenation inhaled from the air in the alveoli, which is a place of high partial pressure, diffuses across the thin walls of the capillaries to the area of low partial pressure, which is the blood. Subsequently, carbon dioxide diffuses from the capillaries into the alveoli, which then becomes expelled through expiration. Now that there is oxygenated red blood cells within the lungs, it becomes transported to the heart via veins to then be pumped around the body. The oxygenated rich blood is transferred from the lungs to the heart via the pulmonary veins. The oxygenated blood enters the left atrium. From the left atrium, the blood flows into the left ventricle. The left ventricle contracts and pumps the oxygenated blood out of the heart and into the aorta, a large artery that carries blood to the rest of the body for muscle, tissue, and cell use. Oxygenation of blood is essential to maintain homeostasis within the body. The first reason is that oxygen is vital for cellular respiration, which is the process by which cells convert glucose into ATP. This energy is essential for muscle contraction, nerve signaling, brain function, and all metabolic activities in the body. If blood is not properly oxygenated, cells receive an insufficient amount of oxygen, which is a condition known as hypoxia. This can lead to symptoms such as fatigue, confusion, and eventually organ failure, particularly in oxygen-sensitive organs like the brain and heart. This would fail to achieve homeostasis, as processes such as temperature regulation would not occur. The second reason is that blood oxygenation supports the immune system and the healing process. Oxygenation plays a crucial role in the function of the immune system, as white blood cells use oxygen to create ROS, which are reactive oxygen species, which are powerful molecules that help destroy bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens. Oxygen is also essential for tissue repair and wound healing, as it supports cell growth and collagen reproduction. When oxygen levels are too low, the immune system becomes weaker and slower, meaning it can't fight back from bacteria, and bacteria slowly takes over organs. Wounds may heal poorly and the body becomes more vulnerable to infections. meaning it is unable to maintain homeostasis.